fine. So in this video, I want to kind of give you guys a detailed look at how I work through some of these packets, including So Happy to Learn, which is what these packets are actually based off of. Now, these packets are great for kids that are either young, like preschool, or kids that have disabilities, whether it's an intellectual disability. It is advertised as Down syndrome. However, there are a lot of kiddos that are on the spectrum that use So Happy to Learn program, and it works great for them. So, same with mine. The only difference between my packets and So Happy to Learn is So Happy to Learn has way more than me. No, but they actually also have little books that you can use. They have a great website. I'm totally going to push how amazing they are. They have a great website, a community. You can learn so much from each other, all those kind of things. And it's all private. So it's not displayed up on Facebook. It's a private community. So it is a year-long subscription that you can join, but you have access to all of her resources. Now, the only thing that she didn't have with her bundles and subscription that was really important to me was the Christian Biblical Worldview perspective. So what I did with mine is I started writing them on my own for my daughter with Down syndrome, that Biblical Worldview, and I was putting out one for each month. And then I realized I should probably share this with you. Like, guys, I have no agenda. Like, seriously, right now as we speak, you can go to Teacher Pay Teacher, link is in the description box below, and just download them for free. Seriously, like I said, I'm not trying to make money off of this currently. Eventually I might, if I get a pretty big response from a lot of people, and actually after the full year is up, then I'll probably start selling them, but very minimal, like $1 or $2, something really cheap. But they're mainly here for you to help you, from that biblical perspective, teach your kids some of this reading and writing and phonics and math and science, okay? So what I'm going to share with you right now, it works for So Happy to Learn as well. And so if you're looking into that program specifically, what I share with you today is going to be like the same exact thing. My stuff is almost identical to So Happy to Learn, except with the biblical perspective. And I do want to point out that a lot of this that So Happy to Learn uses stems from this book right here, Teaching Reading to Children with Down Syndrome. It's an amazing guide. I highly, highly recommend it. If you do have a child with Down syndrome and you are homeschooling, or if you are a teacher and you have students with Down syndrome. And the packets that Miss Terry makes, Terry Brown, that's actually the lady who runs So Happy to Learn, which she's amazing, comes with, matching pages. She has happy sheets, but she also, which I don't have yet, is these little booklets that you can use. And these are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So for example, you read through them together, you point to them or circle. I see a carrot. The carrot is a vegetable, so it's educational too. And I love her stuff. In fact, we've been going lately through these letter books that she knows her alphabet, she knows all the letters, she knows all the sounds, but it's sometimes understanding that first letter, Jeep, those kind of things. I love these, and there's happy sheets that go along with these too. So that's this. It's a great program. I'll put the link in the description box below. But what I actually have is pretty much identical, not like identical, but you know what I mean? It kind of bases the same kind of idea as the happy sheets, and it works similar because, my daughter Naomi, she's into patterns and routine, and it's the same kind of routine as So Happy to Learn, so I can kind of flip-flop between those two. So I can talk about routines and Down syndrome till I'm blue in the face because they love it. And I know the same is very much true for kids that are on the spectrum as well. So every month I have been putting out a new packet. And this one, because we are currently in the month of March, I'm going to share with you the March packet. Now, it doesn't matter what month you're in. It's the same kind of concept, same type of idea. So what we will do is we will look at the first page and we will read together, I love March. Now, I will actually circle each word as I read them. I will try to get her to say those words back to me. And then I will go through and I will ask her if she knows Or if she, most of the time, like, this is a seed, and she'll say seed, and we'll go through all the different things. Now, one of the things that So Happy to Learn really stresses is that you don't ask, you teach. It's not a quiz. And so, I mean, being a teacher, I have a tendency to say, do you know what that is? And see if she actually knows it. And do you know what this is? And she'll say flower. So she'll know some of the stuff, and I'll have to prompt her sometimes, and I am very guilty of that. But I don't know. I like the idea of asking questions because it does kind of prompt them to answer and tell you what they know. So after I do this first page, I will utilize the blank page in the back. Okay, I think that's very important as a parent that we use the back page, because sometimes the front page is not really going to fully encompass everything that we want our children to know about that specific topic. So what I might do on the back of here is I might draw a seed, and then I may have her draw a seed, or I may write the word March and then draw a line underneath and have her write the word March. So this is the first page, and that's already a lot of work for a kid. The second page in this packet is, in March, spring begins. I see flowers, I see animals, I can circle what I see in spring. So I'm introducing the idea of spring. I'm reading this to her, and for her, you know, this is a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to expect her to read all of this, but I am going to circle the words as I read. So she gets this idea of this is how you read in this order, and I'm circling the words. Eventually the goal is, and it does happen, for her to circle the words herself. And sometimes she'll memorize some of these, because when we do the March packet, we are literally doing it 3 or 4 times a month. Now, of course, she's in first grade. Second grade rolls around, I'm also going to use this packet again as a supplement, and she's going to be able to do more stuff. And that repetition too for our kids with special needs is huge, because they don't always get all the information they need the first time through. So repetition is great. Even if you did this constantly as a supplement once a month, it will benefit them tremendously. So what we do is we'll circle the different pictures. I might write the word underneath them, but she's going to circle, actually, not me. On the back, of course, I had a puppy. I may write puppy, have her write puppy. I may say, I might write spring, draw me a spring picture. Whatever I feel like I want to have her do, basically, utilizing the back page. All right, so this one's about bugs and trees. It's the same kind of concept as that first page. And then this is green leaves. Now this is great, and I actually got this from Learning Without Tears because of the little dots, right? So leaves can be little tiny dots putting leaves on the tree, because that's what should happen in spring, right? Same thing with the back. Maybe we'll draw some trees, write the word tree. You can say like, I see a tree, and see if she can actually read that sentence without you telling her what it is. And maybe even circle, I see a tree. Okay, now we're getting into the God made all the plants that grow in March. I can draw a flower on the stem, utilize the back. This is the seed. Now, I love what I did here. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but I actually really do love what I did here. I started pulling in some scriptures because we're talking about seeds and gardening and plants, and I was thinking about the parable of the seed. So this seed will go into soil and grow into a plant. And the idea is to pick which one is the best soil for the seed. And so she draws, and you can spend some time talking about this soil and why that's the best, and why this wouldn't work, and why this wouldn't work. So these packets are made for you to take your time with your child. It may take you a week to go through one packet, but take the time you need to have a conversation with your child about what you see on the page. The worst thing that you can possibly do with these packets and with So Happy to Learn is just rush through the packet. Now, if you're doing the packet like once a week, and by the end of the week, and you've done them enough times, maybe you can hand the packet to your child and they can do it themselves. And all of a sudden they're teaching themselves, they're repeating to themselves the stuff that they already learned, and they're memorizing it. That's a very good technique, but the first time through, second time through, really slow down with them to get the concept. And what's also nice about this is you can go outside and you can look at the rocks, and you can look at the soil, and you can look at the thorns, and talk about, is a seed going to grow in this? That kind of stuff. So, of course, I reiterate the seed is going to grow in green soil, good soil. What color is the plant? I always like to do some kind of colors within there. And then I talk about roots. You know, roots are holding down the plants. Of course, we know that, but that's not what I wrote. I actually wrote, as the plant grows up, it will have roots under the soil. And then they'll draw the roots at the bottom page. Of course, use the back. You can have another plant and draw all the roots. One of the things that we did is I went outside and pulled a weed out of the garden and showed her the roots. We talked about it. She traced it. It was great. Okay, here is some writing that you can do with these 3 words: flower, seed, and soil. I think writing is super important that you're practicing with them. So I included that. Use the back, write their name. Have them do their names as much as you can. And then here we've got matching flowers. Now this might be a little bit advanced, but this is where you help them, right? What's a lily? Let's look at the lilies. A lily is this one right here. Can you draw a line to this? You feed them that information until they got it, right? I can draw a flower. I love to draw flowers. You can have them draw their favorite flower that they learned from the previous page. Or just, use this back to draw your favorite flower and do it twice. I don't know. Whatever you want to do at the back of the page, make sure you utilize them, right? This is the lily. The lily is a flower. God loves the lily, made it beautiful. And then we talk about, does God take care of the lily? Well, he takes care of you more. And then we also talk about the clothes that God gives you. So this is a picture of you with clothes on that God gave you. And here's a picture of clothes that you may wear in warmer weather. So God will take care of what you need. And of course, at the very end, we're going to say, thank you, God. So all of these packets are going to include a page of reading. All right, this is great because this is actually one of the ones that I split in half because C is a really big sight word. So I see the seed, I see the soil, I see the root, I see the flower, but then I switched over to like, because like is another one that's very important. And so I will use one for a while, switch, do another one. This is good for reading, then you match, and you can repeat this actually every day if you want to. And then I included these because I'm a big fan of reviewing your letters and letter sounds. And so I put together 2 letters per month that you will go through. Practicing the letter A, you basically read this page, then you want to trace this. You can also actually, what we started doing is using wiki sticks on it as well as Play-Doh. If you use Play-Doh, stick it in a plastic cover sheet so you don't destroy this and you want to use it over and over again. But Play-Doh works great. And capital, lowercase, then this one was the letter R. I tried to connect them with a word that we use during the month, but it doesn't always work out. So it's there though. But then I also like to include a song. And so I have this page I like to sing in March. I include a Bible verse. And I think the one thing that I loved doing with Naomi when I went through these packets is singing to her and singing with her. And so this one, there's a mix of different songs. So this one's Seek Ye First. If you don't know the song, go to YouTube and watch it and learn it. Okay, it's super easy. And I included the end page because it's important for that finalized kind of thing. And then I have these matching pages. There's 12 different word cards and vocabulary cards in the actual packet. So here you go. What is very interesting about the month of March is that sometimes you have Easter and Passover, but sometimes it's in April. So I couldn't really include those holidays in March. And because I do come from a very unique perspective, we actually attend a Messianic congregation, but we also go to churches as well. I'm a big fan of bringing this all together, unity. I know churches love to learn about Passover. I've heard a lot of my friends wanting to celebrate Passover as well, but I also want them to see both holidays when I wrote these packets. Now, of course, if you only celebrate Christmas or Easter, then don't do the Passover ones. You just can pull them out. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I get it. But if you want to expose your children to a little bit of that and some of the beauty behind those holidays, then it's in the packet. So this one is specific to Passover and Easter Resurrection Sunday. And so we are going to reiterate that it is spring. I love learning about God and what he did for me. I learn more about him in the spring. And you do, because during Passover, Jesus had a meal with his 12 friends, and then you try to have them draw their 12 friends sitting at the table. But if you don't use the word Jesus, but you use Yeshua, during Passover, Yeshua had a meal with his 12 friends, I can draw them. They're identical. These 2 pages are identical. It's your choice as into which one that you want to use. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you use them at all. You know, it's there for you to meet your needs. Now, I talk about matzah. Okay, matzah is really interesting with Passover, especially for people that are Christian. We eat it for 1 week, and it was what Jesus and his friends ate during Passover. So you draw the holes. And a lot of you may be familiar with that idea of the holes representing how he was beaten and bruised for our sins and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I didn't mention it. We're just going to do the holes. If you want to share that with your kids, go for it. Don't forget to utilize the back. Of course, there's 2 sheets, one with Yeshua, one with Jesus. Whichever one works. We talk about Jesus was perfect. He did not make any mistakes. Jesus did not do bad things. He loves me. You write your name. Jesus, Yeshua. We talk a little bit about, are you perfect? Was Jesus perfect? Yes or no? Circling here. And then I do have a little bit more reading, teaching kind of stuff. This one is my favorite right here. This is my favorite page. So Jesus did not do anything wrong, but he took the punishment because he loves me. Okay, it's a hard concept. I get it for some of our kiddos. But if you do Passover in the home, this can also represent the Lord's Supper. It's pretty much the same thing for a lot of us. He was broken like matzah. That's a heavy concept. Do with it as you please. But if you celebrate Passover and you go through those I don't know what you call them, those things that you do where you break the matzah and you hide half of it, or actually 1/3 of it, and then you find it later on. There's a whole teaching behind it, and it's really actually kind of cool. But I also have that he died on the cross, and you have them draw a cross. And then you talk about in 3 days he rose, and Jesus loves you so much, Yeshua loves you so much. We talk about Passover. We eat lots of yummy food. Let's circle those yummy foods that you will eat and put an X on the ones that you don't eat, because you're not going to eat bread on Passover if you celebrate it. And same thing, I put Resurrection Sunday because I know some people prefer that. Or Easter. I don't know what you prefer, but so I put Resurrection Sunday. But circle the foods that you think are yummy. Right? Now, these are lots of things that you may eat. If you celebrate both, I did put those dinner rolls on there that you can put an X on. So there's that. We talk about the Haggadah. They not expected them to read the Hebrew, but we do the Passover Haggadah. And then on Resurrection Sunday, we go to church with family. So you can see I'm doing a very, full picture. Passover Seder plate, and I do have another one. I didn't print it, but it does hiding Easter eggs around and finding the Easter eggs. Okay, here is my I see, I like, and then I actually have I love at the bottom there. You can see all these different things here. And then just like, songs, singing songs. So this says the tune to Are You Sleeping? Christ is risen, Christ is risen. But I didn't leave out my Passover friends, my Messianic friends. If you do not speak Hebrew or do not know Dayenu, you can find it online very easily. And I did all the Hebrew because you can't really do Dayenu without the Hebrew, but it basically goes, the chorus. I didn't give the whole thing. But Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Or you could say, Dayenu, Dayenu, it would have been enough Dayenu. You can say that too. Look it up online. It's a fun song. It's just fun. But I did include one set of the vocabulary matching cards right here. So, I have papers all over the floor right now and in my lap because I went through this pretty quickly. These resources are 100% free right now. So, go over there, download it if this seems really interesting to you. start working with your child. I will do, sometimes we'll get through a packet in a day, but they'll usually take me about 3 days before I get through a full packet. And Naomi has learned to love them, especially because she knows what to expect with them. There's a routine behind it. And whenever you're establishing a routine with a kid that has a disability, like it's hard in the beginning, but it gets easier. So if you're going into that, or you're facing that kind of problem, just know that if you keep at it and you're persistent, she or he is eventually going to fall in line with that routine, because they love routines. So thank you again so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I hope you guys get a lot out of these resources. And like I said, I'll put So Happy to Learn stuff in there too, because that is a great program. It's awesome. So thank you again. Oh, also she has, on So Happy to Learn, just so you guys know, she has some tutorial type videos as well. So feel free to check those out. And thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you later. Bye.